1, 2, 3, 4.
Late Night with Bliss, talking about the opera business. Liz!
Welcome to our season finale of Late Night with Liz. I'm your host and the eighth wonder of the world, Liz Sutphen. It's been quite a week here in our nebulous void of time and space. We've just learned that a Bolivian orchestra has been stranded at a German palace in Rheinberg since its gig there on March 10th. The palace is allegedly haunted by Frederick the Great, and the grounds are home to 23 packs of wolves, proving, once again, that musicians will do literally anything for a gig. If they are able to escape and get onto a plane home, they will find that airlines have eliminated mixed drinks from their service menus, which I'm sure is just fine, since only hard liquor will be able to help those musicians cope with the past 77 days where they've been trapped in a royally haunted, wolf-infested nightmare castle. To add to this hellish horror show, the CDC has issued a warning against New York City's rat population. Due to a lack of open restaurants and street garbage, the rats no longer have their primary food sources to rely on and have therefore taken to eating each other. In other New York City news, Yankee Stadium is considering turning its parking lot into a drive-in movie theater. That's great, say the 3 New Yorkers who actually own cars. Also reported this week, Betty White is doing just fine. Please stay away from her. Someone who has been staying away from Betty White is my colleague and guest this evening, tenor Ben Bliss. We had a great and uplifting conversation about creativity in the time of isolation, and I can't wait to share it with you. So sit back, sidle up with the ghost of Frederick the Great, just get all cozy, and let's go have some fun.
As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown, good Lord, show me the way. Oh, sisters, let's go down, come on down. Oh, sisters, let's go down in the river to pray.
I am so pleased to welcome to Late Night with Liz, our guest this evening, Ben Bliss. Hey. It's you.
What's good?
So nice to have you here. Ben and I met in 2014, I think, for the first time at Aspen,
Yep.
where all roads converge. But since then, you have been very busy. You've been all over the world. You've been at the Met, LA, Frankfurt, and that's so exciting. You've been busy. You've been so successful. Something my viewers might not know about you is that you actually have a degree in film, and you worked in film for quite a while.
Yeah. It's been a wild, oh gosh, I don't know, about 10 or 12 years since I graduated school. And yeah, I have felt like that time working in the sort of filmed entertainment side of things gave me a good perspective, not just because, a lot of weird experiences there. My first real job out of school was working on the Dr. Phil show, which I did for 3 years. It was, educational.
Well, I'm sure, and it's probably very good for what you do now, because we get a lot of weird stuff thrown at us.
It's good for growing a mustache too,
Sure. Well, maybe that's why I've always had such trouble. So what was the big difference that you noticed when you started transforming your career from one behind the scenes in film and TV into one in front of live people all the time?
Yeah, well, there are a couple things. First of all, I feel like having a little experience working in a TV studio helped me navigate the sort of, I don't want to say the politics, but sort of the day-to-day operations and all the noise that goes on in an opera house, the personalities, the production, and also the perspective to never complain about long rehearsals. Because one thing that our union does effectively is keep our rehearsals to a maximum of 6 hours a day with all these breaks and everything, which is very luxurious. Because, working for TV, I put in 16, 18-hour days, multiple in a row, slept on the couch in my boss's office, like worked, and for like no money and
Right.
no glory. So that was a helpful perspective to have. And then also it was nice to get back into a world where you can work your butt off for years in television or working at a bank or in insurance or anything in the real world, and have it take years for someone to notice your skill and your potential and your talent. And one of the things I really like about music, besides the creative act of producing sound and collaborating, is that you can go in and open your mouth, and within the first 5 or 10 seconds of you singing, they pretty much know what you can do. Singing really is sort of a superpower. If you walk into the grocery store or a karaoke bar or whatever, and you just stop and you stand there and you really sing and you really give it, even in a noisy room where people are playing instruments or something, everyone just kind of shuts up and listens, and it hits people. The human voice has that power. It's pretty neat.
It's something that makes what we do so unique, because we're so focused on not being mic'd and everything being live. But we're in this weird nebulous time warp where we can't do that right now.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to do is bring that feeling into a media-driven world. I'm wondering if you could give some insight on what you think we're getting right and what you think we might be getting wrong.
Well, opera is in some ways a little bit hamstrung by the fact that we are a live art form. We're a business where we've always made our mark and made our money by, if you have a great reputation or whatever, going out and proving every night on stage that you deserve to be the guy or the gal who's out there doing it. And of course, that's pretty much impossible right now. But similar to the rest of the world and the rest of the arts and entertainment and the economy at large, we're going to be forced to make some changes. And one of the great opportunities in all of this is for us as singers whose lives are so tied up in being on the road constantly and the impermanence of that, to sit in one place for a while without opera in our lives and to remember or reform our identity. I've found old sort of threads of creativity that their importance to me has re-emerged. And just different thing. I've got some power tools in my basement, and I'm building some furniture, and there are a couple of stories that I've had knocking around in my head for the last several years that I'm finally sitting down every day to spend a couple hours putting on paper and everything. And I think with all the creativity in our field, it's all been completely directed in this kind of myopic way towards creating opera on the stage. And I don't know what the next thing is going to be, but I know that when that one directive for all the creativity in our field doesn't exist anymore, something great is going to come out of that creativity, because it's not just going to go away.
This is a great example. We're a comedy show, and we have these little 10-minute interviews or whatever, but there's a space for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love that. I like that we're learning about that.
Yeah, and I mean, I know some musicians who are building apps, who are writing screenplays, who are building houses, and it's great to see, and hopefully some opportunities to collaborate with some people online, maybe do some different kinds of music. My sister is a singer-songwriter, and I'm going to team up with her and do a song, and it's I've never done that ever, and this is an opportunity to do it.
I think, call me crazy, but I've done 8 of these episodes. And I think that's what people want. They want to see that person up on stage who has, as you said, proven that he has got the goods, is a fully formed person who likes all sorts of things. And in this time, here we are, where we can't do what it is we've proven over and over that we can do. Got a heck of a lot of other interests and a lot of other creativity.
Yeah. Well, and it is, I do think, it's a great opportunity to be still and focus on yourself and not really worry about what's going to happen, because it's out of our control. It's a really singular time to sit by yourself and and discover or rediscover who you are and what you're about and what when you have nothing to do, what gets you out of bed to go do every day. When it's over, first of all, there's going to be like dancing in the streets. And there's also going to be, I think there's going to be a lot of people who spend a lot of time sitting, writing stories, writing songs, whatever. And I think there's going to be an explosion of creativity that's going to come out of this.
I love it. Ben, thank you. I've really enjoyed this.
Liz, the pleasure has been more than mine. It's been all of ours. We love you.
Oh,
cheers.
Thank you. Oh my God, cheers.
Little peanut butter and jelly cheers.
Your
Glass of milk. I have the diet of a 6-year-old, so let's do this.
Fair. And now, for our returning favorite here at Late Night with Liz.
Let's begin with Carmen. So there was this soldier in the army named Don Buffet who worked in front of a factory. And there was a woman who worked at the factory named Carmen. And every boy loved Carmen. So Don Jose fell in love with Carmen once he saw her. She gave a flower to John Jose. Carmen got into a fight with someone at the factory, so she was sent to prison, but Don Jose helped her escape, so he became a gypsy with Carmen and went off into the mountains, and then she volunteered to go back to Cedel, and she met Escamillo, and then Don Jose went to check on her because she was gone for a while. And then she fell in love with, I don't know. As Sam was saying, she fell in love with Escamillo. And Don Jose didn't like that she was being with Escamillo, so he killed her. Why is everybody fighting all the time?
Hey, what about Micaela? No. Thank you so much for joining me this week, and week after week. It has been very difficult, as I'm sure it has for all of you as well, to not be doing what I love to do, but also to not be seeing all of the people that I love. It has been very hard for all of us to wake up every day in a world which is hardly recognizable. But what's been helping me get through is knowing that every week I'm creating this show is an opportunity to make people smile. Please remember, as we navigate through this, art is what makes us human. It doesn't matter what art you love, whether it's opera or film or the clothes that you're wearing, there's a space for you. And I hope that Late Night with Liz has shown you that. Thank you for watching. Thank you to every person who has helped me make this show, particularly my co-director and star videographer. And thank you to the Dallas Opera for giving me this platform to be exactly who I am. Stay safe, stay home, stay you. I'll see you next time.